So I want you to picture a scenario. It is one I think a lot of us have lived through, or maybe you are actually living through it right now.
Oh, absolutely. It is a very universal experience.
Right. So you spend years in the trenches of your education. You pull the all-nighters, you subsist on way too much caffeine.
Oh, way too much.
Yeah, just an unhealthy amount.
Yeah.
You write the papers, you pass the exams, and finally you get the degree.
The Holy Grail.
Exactly, the Holy Grail. You hang that diploma on the wall. Maybe you even land the exact job you were aiming for.
Yeah.
And you take this deep breath and you think, okay, I have made it. I am set.
That is such a pervasive feeling. Psychologists actually have a name for it. They call it the arrival fallacy.
The arrival fallacy, I like that.
Yeah, it is the illusion that once you reach a certain goal, you will be perpetually happy or secure.
But here is the problem with that arrival, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning rolls around.
Reality hits.
Reality
Yeah.
hits. And you realize something kind of terrifying. That diploma on the wall, it doesn't actually protect you.
Not at all.
It doesn't stop you from stumbling in a high-stakes meeting.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop the imposter syndrome from creeping in at 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, the 2 a.m. panic.
We all know it. And it certainly doesn't help you spot the strategic opportunities that are flying right past your face because you're too busy trying to keep your head above water.
It is a harsh realization, honestly. It is when you figure out that technical competence, like just knowing your trade, is really just the baseline.
Right.
It is the entry fee. It is not the finish line.
Exactly. And that brings us to what we are deep diving into today.
And this is a really important one.
It really is. We have a fascinating stack of research articles and methodology on the table today. It tackles a massive question. Why do some professionals just sort of survive their careers?
You know, doing okay, paying the bills, waiting for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. While others seem to truly thrive. And I don't just mean making more money, though. Obviously, that's part of it.
Sure.
I mean, finding actual fulfillment, avoiding burnout, and constantly leveling up without completely losing their minds in the process.
And what is really compelling about this specific source material we are looking at is that it argues the difference isn't just raw talent.
Right. It is not about being a genius.
No, not at all. And it's not just about grinding harder or putting in 90-hour weeks. And it is not just luck either.
So what is it then?
The material posits that professional success is actually supported by a structure.
A structure, like a building.
Think of it more like a tripod. The sources identify 3 master keys or pillars of professional practice.
Okay.
And the argument here is really specific. If you remove one leg of a tripod, the whole thing falls over.
It just tips right over.
Exactly. It really doesn't matter how strong the other 2 legs are. Without the third, it collapses.
I have to be honest here, though. When I hear words like structure and pillars, I usually start thinking about corporate bureaucracy.
Oh, right. The HR buzzwords.
Yeah, like, is this going to be another box-checking exercise?
No, thankfully. This is much more organic than that. It is really about the support systems that humans actually need to function at a high level.
Okay, I'm relieved.
So the 3 pillars we are going to unpack today are, first, strategic advisory, second, rigorous follow-up, and third, human accompaniment.
Okay, strategic advisory, rigorous follow-up, human accompaniment. They do sound a bit formal.
They do. The source material draws heavily from a framework that uses specific phrasing to separate concepts that we normally just lump together.
Right. Well, let's unstack them then, because usually people just say, oh, I need a mentor, and they think that covers absolutely everything.
Exactly, and the research shows that is a massive mistake. The term mentorship is just too vague.
It is a catch-all.
Right. The data shows you actually need 3 distinct types of input. So let's start with the first leg, strategic advisory.
The source material calls this the GPS.
Yes, the GPS or the map.
So define this for me. Is this just me asking my buddy from college what he thinks I should do with my career? Or maybe asking my boss for a raise?
Definitively no. And that is a crucial distinction to make. Strategic advisory is not just seeking a random opinion or venting to a friend over coffee.
So what makes it strategic?
It is about obtaining specific, expert technical or strategic guidance from someone who knows substantially more about a specific topic than you do.
Okay.
It represents closing the expertise gap.
So it is about specialized knowledge applied to a really critical moment.
Precisely. Think about that GPS analogy. You can drive around a new city without one ride.
Sure, you just read the signs.
Yeah, and you might eventually find your destination, but you also might circle the same block 50 times.
I've definitely done that.
Right, or you get stuck in traffic you could have easily avoided, or you end up on the completely wrong side of town.
I mean, I have definitely circled the professional equivalent of the same block for 2 years straight.
We all have. We really have. The strategic advisor is the person who already has the map. They prevent you from reinventing the wheel.
Which saves so much time.
Exactly. There is a systematic review cited in our stack today that is really telling on this front.
Oh, what did it look at?
It looked at early career professionals who utilize specific, targeted strategic advisory versus those who just tried to figure it out on their own.
But what was the delta there?
It was massive. The advisory group didn't just find jobs faster, their starting trajectories were significantly higher.
Why is that? Just better networking.
Partly, but mostly because the advisor aligns your aspirations with market reality.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, you might want to be X, but the market is heavily buying Y right now. A strategic advisor looks at your plan and tells you, hey, if you want to get there, you need to learn this specific skill set today, not 5 years from now.
So it drastically reduces the cost of error.
Drastically. It is essentially an efficiency hack. Instead of learning by failing for 5 years, you learn from someone else's 20 years of experience in about 20 minutes.
That makes a lot of sense. That is the strategic advisory. It is about the what and the where. Okay, so pillar 1 is the map. You know where you are going.
Right.
But knowing the path, obviously, doesn't mean you will actually walk it. Which brings us to the second pillar. And I think this is where most people actually fail.
Pillar 2, rigorous follow-up.
Yes. Now, I am going to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
You use the word rigorous, and then you talk about follow-up. To me, and probably to a lot of people listening, that sounds like a total nightmare.
It sounds rigid.
It sounds like micromanagement. It sounds like having a boss breathing down your neck asking why the spreadsheet isn't done yet.
It absolutely can feel that way if it is done wrong. And the source material is very careful to make this distinction.
Okay.
There's a massive difference between policing and tracking.
What is the difference then?
Oh.
Because they kind of feel the exact same when you are on the receiving end.
It all comes down to the objective. Policing is looking for what you did wrong so you can be punished.
Right. It is a gotcha moment.
Exactly. The rigorous follow-up discussed in these pillars is more like, think of it like the telemetry in a Formula One car.
Okay. I am listening.
So the pit crew isn't looking at the tire pressure data just to yell at the driver.
They aren't trying to get him in trouble.
Right. They're looking at the data to tell the driver, hey, you are losing grip on the left turn. Adjust your angle slightly. It is data for the driver, not against the driver.
Oh, I love that. So it is about course correction, not judgment.
Exactly. The source material has this brilliant line that I just love. It says, good purposes without follow-up are just good wishes with an expiration date.
Wow, good wishes with an expiration date. That actually stings a little bit.
It is entirely too relatable, right?
It really is. It reminds me of every single New Year's resolution I have ever made. January 1st, I am going to run a marathon.
And by January 15th?
By January 15th, I am eating pizza on the couch watching television.
And that right there is the intention-behavior gap. We all have it.
We really do.
Yeah. We leave a conference fired up. We have the strategic advice. We know exactly what to do. But 3 weeks later, the urgency just fades.
Life gets in the way.
Right. Rigorous follow-up is the structure that bridges that gap. It is systematic monitoring and continuous feedback.
And does the science actually back this up? Like, does having someone audit your progress actually make you perform better, or does it just stress people out?
The longitudinal studies are extremely clear on this. Structured follow-up significantly increases performance and knowledge retention.
Okay, that makes sense for performance, but what about the stress part?
Well, here is the counterintuitive part regarding job satisfaction. Meta-analyses show a strong correlation between constant constructive follow-up and higher organizational commitment.
Wait, really? I would have thought constant monitoring would make people just want to quit.
If it is micromanagement, yes, they will quit. But if it is developmental follow-up, it actually lowers the intention to quit.
Why is that?
It reduces turnover because people feel seen. They feel like their trajectory actually matters to someone and is being actively managed. It turns a standard job into a real career path.
That is such a key distinction. It is not, I am watching you to catch you making a mistake.
Yeah.
It is, I am watching your progress to make sure you get where you want to go.
Exactly. It is the difference between a speed trap and a pit crew.
A speed trap and a pit crew. I really love that analogy.
It works perfectly.
Okay, so we have the GPS, which is the strategic advisory, and we have the telemetry or the route maintenance, which is the rigorous follow-up.
Right.
That brings us to the third leg of the tripod, and this one seems a bit like the outlier to me. Human accompaniment.
Yes. This is the softest of the three pillars, but the source material argues it actually might be the most powerful one.
The soft skills usually are the hardest ones to master, honestly. But why is this a completely separate pillar?
What do you mean?
Well, why isn't this just part of the advisory pillar? If I have a mentor giving me advice, aren't they naturally accompanying me?
Not necessarily, no. You can give someone incredibly great technical advice, but not actually care about them as a human being.
Oh, that is true.
Right? And you can track someone's metrics religiously without ever asking how they are sleeping at night. Accompaniment is about the who.
The who.
Yes. It combines mentoring with genuine emotional support.
So this is less about the technical skills and more about resilience.
It is heavily about resilience. It is about walking beside someone. It goes far beyond checklists and key performance indicators.
It is the human element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is having someone there through the really good times and the really bad times, offering role modeling and providing a long-term perspective when you are lost in the weeds.
And is there data on this too?
Oh, this is where the data gets really heavy.
Lay it on me.
The source highlights a classic meta-analysis of over 200 studies on this specific topic of mentorship and emotional support.
200 studies. That is a massive sample size.
It is huge. It is very robust data.
And what did they find?
The benefits are just undeniable. For the mentee, the person receiving the accompaniment, it leads to significantly greater career advancement.
Like promotions.
More promotions, higher salaries, better opportunities. But, and this is the critical part, it also correlates with much better psychological well-being and lower burnout.
Lower burnout. That really is the magic word right now. Everyone everywhere is talking about burnout.
It is practically the epidemic of the modern workplace.
It really is.
And the data suggests that having someone walking beside you, someone who provides that human connection and perspective, it acts as a literal buffer against burnout. It provides emotional fuel.
Emotional fuel. I like that.
Right.
And I imagine this benefits the mentor too, right? Or is it just treated as a charitable act?
Oh, it is definitely not a one-way street. The research clearly shows that providing accompaniment correlates with the mentor's own long-term success.
Really? How does that work?
Successful mentors actually transmit success to their protégés. By investing in others, they build deeper networks, they refine their own leadership skills, and it creates this incredible generational ripple effect.
That is fascinating. So let's try to synthesize this whole framework. We have got these three keys: strategic advisory, rigorous follow-up, and human accompaniment.
Right.
The source material uses a car analogy to tie this all together, doesn't it?
Yes, and it is a really great visual to help us understand how the synergy actually works.
Walk us through it.
Okay, so imagine your career is a long car journey.
Okay, I'm in the car.
Strategic advisory is the map or the GPS. It tells you exactly where the destination is and what the best, most efficient way to get there is.
Got it. I know where I'm going.
Rigorous follow-up is the maintenance and the route adherence.
So keeping the car running.
Exactly. It ensures the engine is running properly, the tires are inflated, and that you haven't accidentally drifted onto some random dirt road. It keeps the vehicle functional.
And then the accompaniment.
The accompaniment is the fuel.
The fuel. Because the road gets ugly.
The road always gets ugly. You will hit potholes. You will get stuck in terrible traffic. You will have unexpected engine trouble.
That is just life.
Right. And without the emotional resilience, without that fuel, you are going to just get out of the car and walk away. You will quit.
But here is where I think it gets really interesting. What happens if you have two of these pillars, but you miss one?
Failure modes.
Yeah, let's look at those. Let's say I have the map, which is the advisory,
Right.
and I have the fuel, which is the accompaniment. I know exactly where I want to go, and I am super motivated.
Okay.
But I have absolutely zero follow-up.
Then you, my friend, are the drifting visionary.
The drifting visionary.
Yes. You have very high energy and you have these big, grand ideas, but you never actually execute.
Ouch. I know a few people like that.
We all do. You start a million projects and you finish absolutely none of them. You are driving fast, but the car is slowly falling apart because you literally never checked the oil.
Okay, let's flip it.
Yeah.
What if I have the map and the follow-up? So I know the plan, and I'm just grinding on the execution.
But no accompaniment.
Right. No fuel.
That is the perfect recipe for high-functioning burnout.
High-functioning burnout.
You will reach the destination, you will hit the metrics, but you will arrive basically dead on arrival.
Exhausted.
Exhausted, cynical, and completely empty inside. You see this in high-pressure industries all the time, honestly.
Well, absolutely. Finance, law, tech.
Exactly. People who are technically brilliant and highly disciplined, but emotionally just hollowed out.
That is a dark place to be. Okay, and the last combination. What if I have the fuel and the follow-up, but I don't have a map?
That is what they call the busy fool.
The busy fuel.
You are working incredibly hard, you are highly motivated, but you are driving 100 miles per hour in the completely wrong direction.
That, honestly, might be the most tragic one of all.
It really is, because the effort is there, but the strategy is fundamentally flawed. That is why the source material calls this an unstoppable system. You need all three. You need the map, the maintenance, and the fuel.
Okay, so we have fully diagnosed the problem here. We have built the car.
We have.
But I want to move to the actionable challenges section of our deep dive. Because as we said earlier, good intentions without follow-up are just wishes.
Wishes with an expiration date.
Right? And we certainly don't want our listeners to just wish for success. We want them to actually do something with this.
We want them to build the tripod in their own lives.
But let's be real for a second. Doing this is actually kind of awkward.
Very awkward.
Asking someone for advice is intimidating. Asking someone to rigorously track your progress sounds scary.
It is inherently uncomfortable. That is exactly why they are framed as challenges in the material.
So based on the source material, we have 4 specific challenges for you listening right now. Let's break them down. What is the very first one?
The first one is the advisory challenge. And the primary goal here is to simply stop guessing.
Stop guessing.
Right. So here is the task. In the next 7 days, you need to schedule a conversation with someone you genuinely admire professionally.
And I'm guessing this isn't just a, hey, can I pick your brain coffee chat?
Oh, please, no. Never send an email asking to pick someone's brain. It is vague and it is annoying to busy people.
It really is. So what do we do instead?
The challenge is to bring 3 concrete strategic questions to that meeting. Don't ask broad things like, how are you, or what is your whole career story?
You want to be specific.
Extremely specific. Ask technical questions about a current problem you are actively facing. Say something like, I'm trying to solve X, I tried Y, and it totally failed. What is your perspective on this?
So you are basically treating them like a paid consultant.
Exactly. And doing that actually respects their time, too. They know exactly how to help you.
That is great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the second challenge?
But the follow-up challenge, this one directly addresses that drifting problem we talked about.
The drifting visionary.
Right. So pick one professional goal you have right now. Just one. Don't overcomplicate it.
Just one goal?
Create a simple calendar and put down 4 review dates over the next 3 months.
So that is roughly 1 review every 3 weeks or so.
Roughly, yes. And in those review sessions, you need to measure your progress with actual numbers or very clear milestones, not just a feeling of, I think I am doing okay.
Can I do this alone or do I need someone else?
You can do it alone, but it is significantly harder to maintain. The source strongly suggests asking a peer to just sit with you for 15 minutes during those reviews.
Just to present it to them.
Yeah, just say, hey, can I show you my progress on this project really quickly? It forces you to be socially accountable.
Because what gets scheduled gets done, especially if someone is watching.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the human accompaniment? Because that feels much harder to just put on a schedule. You can't just calendarize a deep human connection.
It is definitely harder, but you can proactively initiate the cycle. This is the accompaniment challenge.
Okay, how does it work?
Identify someone in your network who is a few steps behind you, maybe a junior colleague or someone making a career transition.
Okay.
Offer to be their companion for 6 months.
6 months? That sounds like a really big commitment to ask of people.
It sounds big, but you have to break it down. It is really just a commitment to monthly check-ins. That is just 1 hour a month.
That is much more manageable.
Right. But the golden rule here is you have to commit to non-judgmental active listening.
So not giving them a map.
No, you aren't there to boss them around or solve all their immediate problems. You are there to simply listen and ask, hey, how are you holding up with all this?
And as we learned from that massive meta-analysis earlier, that is actually going to help you just as much as it helps them.
It really does. It builds your own emotional intelligence and your leadership muscles.
It is a win-win. And there was a bonus challenge too, right? For the leaders out there.
Yes. If you currently manage a team, You need to stop thinking about just managing their daily tasks.
Right. Step back a bit.
Pick one of these three elements: advisory, follow-up, or accompaniment, and implement a small pilot program in your team this quarter.
Give me an example of that.
Sure, maybe it is setting up a mentorship pair-up system, which hits accompaniment. Or maybe it is a quarterly strategy review focused purely on career growth, which hits advisory.
And then what?
Implement it and measure the impact in 3 months. Basically move from just being a manager of work to being a builder of careers.
I love that. Move from managing work to building careers.
Yeah.
It is so actionable. I mean, you listening right now, you can literally start the advisory challenge today. You can pause this and send that email right now.
There is really no barrier to entry here. The systems are simple. The only actual barrier is the ego that says, I can do it all alone.
I don't need help.
The
Yes.
ego trap.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to just circle back to where we started today. That feeling of standing there with your brand new diploma, realizing the road ahead, is suddenly very foggy.
Yes.
We have this ingrained myth in our culture of the self-made man or the self-made woman.
It is entirely a myth. Success is a team sport.
A team sport.
That is the core undeniable message of all this research. No one goes far completely alone.
When you really peel back the layers of anyone who has truly thrived in their field, you never find a lone wolf.
Never. You find the advisors who handed them the map when they were completely lost.
Right.
You find the rigorous systems and the people who kept them on track when they were feeling lazy or distracted.
It's a pit crew.
Yes, the pit crew. And you find the people who fueled them emotionally when they were burned out and wanted to quit. Success is just the result of intelligent decisions, consistency, and quality relationships.
That perfectly sums it up. So here's the final thought for you to carry with you today.
Ask yourself this honestly. Which of these 3 master keys is completely missing from your life right now? Are you out there driving without a map?
Hoping for the best.
Right. Or are you driving without maintenance, just actively ignoring the check engine light flashing on the dashboard? Or are you trying to drive without any fuel?
Identifying that missing piece is always the first step to actually fixing the car. It is time to stop just surviving your career. Start building the structure you need to actually shine.
Drive safe out there.